Hey everybody, Brian here, and in this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We've got a little news, especially as it relates to within the 14 community streaming, especially a friend of the show, Scott Zone, who recently just got banned from Twitch for 30 days. And we're going to kind of cover that. Details are still coming out. I reached out to Scott Zone, we talked. He's doing okay, and he's trying to appeal the ban. But it relates to something kind of bigger and a bigger topic that I've been working on. And so before we begin, though, one of the things, the best thing you guys can do, I'll include the link in the description below, is go check out this channel, go hit that subscribe button on his YouTube page, go hit up a playlist, let him get as much watch time as you can. That's going to help offset, any kind of time that he's missing over on Twitch. He's really a great creator. He brings in a ton of people, and he's really doing good on Twitch, and it's overall good for the game itself. And that's really kind of what this video is going to be about. Really freaking frustrated about all of this, and so I want to sit down, talk to you guys about it, because I've been kind of working on a video. It's talking about kind of elitism, the growing problem within gaming. We see it. It's kind of a natural cycle. It ebbs and flows. But I was going to talk about that, and that's kind of a more state of the game, scripted kind of deep dive into it, like one specific topic. But what this is really about, and what the title of the video is, and what the thumbnail relates, is that White Knights are killing Final Fantasy XIV. In fact, I think they were probably killing lots of other games. And you might initially be, I guess, thinking, if I defend the game, I'm a White Knight. No. We're going to define that here really, clearly, so we can kind of move forward. There's nothing wrong with defending a game. There's nothing wrong with educating somebody on a feature or the reason why something is the way it is. You look at the lazy peon and he doesn't like leveling. It's fine to educate him on here's how the game is and here's the pros and cons of that. And he's welcome to form his own opinion in that case. But with Scott Zone, obviously I think this kind of kicked off because he kind of put out a critique of Eden, and I think I watched his video. I thought his critique was really well versed. I think it was well worded. He brings up some concerns that the community at large has had overall. So what is a White Knight? A White Knight, I think, is somebody who vigorously and ignorantly defends a point, and where they think they're coming from a position of love, but they're actively trying to kill the game. In fact, they're probably succeeding. Kicking Scott off of Twitch is just one example of hurting the game. They have a viewpoint that is kind of contrary to reality. Is it wrong to defend the game? No. Is it wrong to educate people on the game? No. Is it wrong to just like whole hard hit and try to attack people and to threaten people? Yes, absolutely. Now, there's obviously degrees to this White Knight problem. You might be thinking, hey, I'm a White Knight. I don't know. If you're open and you can understand critique and you can have conversations and you can be inviting, and that's ultimately what I want to do before I'm sitting here just yelling at anybody. I want to invite you White Knights to think and to join the conversation, to love the game in a way that's actually inviting and welcoming to people instead of being so ignorant and foolish that you sit here and threaten and you push people away. This is the kind of stuff that, if ever picked up, it's a bad narrative overall to the individual who was sitting here threatening Scott because he didn't like Scott's critique. He didn't like his, oh my God, opinion of a game or of a feature of a game. You're hurting the game, White Knight. That's not how this all works. And maybe you think of it as it was in the past before social media and before YouTube and before Twitch. But just because somebody has a critique of a game doesn't mean other people aren't going to go play the game. In fact, it gives more legitimacy to the person who is making the critique. If somebody asks me what game I should play, and I say Final Fantasy XIV, they can clearly see that I've critiqued the game. They can clearly see that I think I have a good balanced opinion of what I like and what I would like to see changed about the game. Same thing goes for Scott. We don't have to have these blinders. We don't have to be so just shut off from the fact that we can have opinions about the game, and that's good. It's good to have that discussion. The more discussion, the better. The more people talking about it, the better. The more people streaming about it, the better. The more people making Final Fantasy XIV videos on YouTube, the better. It's one of the reasons why Chris and we constantly encourage people to go and make content. So rather than sit here and try to attack somebody, go and make a channel, go and make a stream. Like, go and make something that shows the qualities. Go and make that counter argument. Go and make that defense by making something, by making a positive influence, by a positive step. Attacking somebody is literally the worst thing you can do. All this has to do is tick over into people who don't know. And then all of a sudden you got you got all kinds of articles. We saw it back at FanFest with like the sledgehammer, like whatever their stupid website was, where they were just trying to hit 14 as some kind of brothel simulator, some form of ERP that everybody was doing. And it's like, okay, that's like an insanely small part of the population. And that's something that's also a part of like MMOs. And I'm not advocating that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm just saying that when these things spill outside of people who might know or not know any better, it doesn't serve to actually help the game and help your interests. So for the love of everything good with the 12, love the game enough to not be ignorant about it and not to attack people. It doesn't help whatsoever. It doesn't help. That's it. Hopefully you can be invited by this conversation right now. I welcome you to come and to have a conversation, to debate and to critique, and not to get so much ownership of a game or presumed ownership of the game that any critique against it sets you off. If that triggers you, if somebody has a critique about the game, if they can't love 100% of the game, if you feel like, and that goes to anybody, whether somebody like me who's been playing for like 9 and some odd years, to somebody who hasn't, to somebody who's only been playing for the last 1 or 2, all opinions are fine. You should just know that, yeah, here's the opinion, here's why I have this opinion, etc. All opinions are fine. Good or bad. They are not hurting the game. You are. When you do stuff like this. Be better.